Hey y'all, it's Shroomie, and today we will be embarking on part 4 of 5 in our Making My New Leaf Town in New Horizons. This is our last speed build. I'm so excited. Part 5 will just be me doing side-by-sides of my original town and this town. Whew, this is it, guys. If you haven't seen the first 3, I'll go ahead and link them up there. Part 1 was just touring my actual New Leaf town. Part 2 is me speed building the entire town in New Horizons, and Part 3 was speed building all of Main Street. And today, we will be speed building all 4 mansions that were in my New Leaf town. Which honestly doesn't sound all that impressive until you take into account the fact that most of the series that were in New Leaf are no longer in New Horizons. So I had to get pretty creative in remaking non-existent series in New Horizons. And for the most part, I think it's okay. Not spectacular, but fine. And just one more thing before we hop into these speed builds. I have decided what my next speed building a town in 5-ish parts is going to be, and I'm super excited for it. I am going to be speed building the Pocket Camp map in New Horizons. I'm super excited because there's so much empty space in the Pocket Camp map because you just take your car in between the different areas. You don't see the in between those areas. So I'm going to have all this blank space to work with, do some creative things, but I'm also going to still have those campsites that I won't have to think about. So it'll be a nice mix of me being able to have some creative freedom, but also not having to plan out every single thing. And in general, the island will be road trip themed, which I just feel like is such a cool theme! Ooh, I'm so excited for all the little road trip areas. Alright, let's get into this. First up, we have Neil's house, and it has this dark exterior with the blue accents. Unfortunately, the diversity of house exteriors is not what it used to be, so we're going with black and white accents and a thatch roof because it was the only white roof. Looks pretty good. I actually like the exterior of this house, even though it's not quite the same vibes of the old one. And our first room will be this cabin room. Luckily, the cabin wall is still in game, so it's easy to lay that out, and the same rug is still in game, although not turned diagonal anymore. And the log furniture series is perfect for replacing the cabin series. It's not quite as diverse as the cabin series, but it has the same vibe, and I could still customize it into that alpine look. Instead of totem poles, I'm using these frozen bears in different colors. Unfortunately, totem poles are not in game anymore, but I think these set the same general vibe that I'm going for with the totem poles. Then I'm throwing down these fruits. Unfortunately, fruit when piled does not become a basket anymore. And here is the final build. Honestly, I'm pretty satisfied with it. I was afraid without the totem poles I wouldn't be able to pull it off, but it looks pretty dang good. The next room in his house will be this Astro room in blue and black. Unfortunately, there's nothing like this in game right now. So I have decided to do, wait for it, a space diner. I love it. And it's in this turquoise, and I feel like it fits the same kind of vibe as before. And it just looks so cool. Just wait until the build's done. It looks so cool. So I have these little rockets and the astronaut suit, and I'm going to bring out a flying saucer to really sell the spaciness of it. Unfortunately, this room is kind of small. I definitely want to rework this idea at a later time in a bigger room because I think there's just so much potential here and it could be so cool. But even in this small room, I love it. It's so cool. The next series we'll be redoing is this cabana room. And luckily we have the Rattan series that is definitely a dupe of the cabana series. And a lot of these pieces do look pretty much the same, but there's some things that they change, like we no longer have the taller lamp and not as many various bookshelves, tables thingies. Anyway, it's pretty plain, but the original one was plain too. Our next victim is the balloon room, which thank goodness this series is gone. But to replace it, I'm going with something that is hopefully just as colorful and festive carnival-y as can be. Basically, I'm just grabbing whatever would be in a cheap carnival and throwing it all together, and throwing in some balloons to herald back to the original days of this being a balloon room. And there you have it. It's very colorful. I feel like it has the same presence as the balloon room. Very nice. And for upstairs, I had this snow sports room. Unfortunately, once again, nothing like it is in the game, except for the wallpaper. We do have the wallpaper and flooring, so we can get that spot on. And for everything else, I'm just throwing crap out. You know, snowboard, surfboard, same thing. Vehicles, yeah. Ski lift, there you go. All good. Yeah, I don't love this one, but it gets the job done. And the card room, another series that's not in game. And there's really nothing similar to it, so I'm doing my own thing here. I decided to do the throwback series, like you play with cards, and I feel like the throwback series is things, I guess they're not quite things you play with, but like, I don't know, they're tacky, but fun, like cards. Anyway, this room is an example of why the throwback series was never supposed to be put all together. Well, unless you like it, then, you know, you go ahead and like it, but these are definitely supposed to be mixed in with other furniture pieces. Not just all in the room together. And with all three of these clocks here, I couldn't help it. I just had to see them all go at once. Ooh, there it was. Oh, gorgeous. And with that, Neil's house is a wrap, and we are moving on to Davey's, which has this Zen exterior. Luckily, recreating that isn't too bad. They still have a lot of Zen things in-game, like the Zen roof was a perfect match. Exterior, once again, was a struggle. And the door, although it's not going to be square anymore because they're all round now, I did get one that is very similar to what it was before. And mailbox is once again a bust. But another house that looks pretty good on the outside, despite basing everything on a different house. And our first room will be this gorgeous room. This one was from Gracie's, and it is indeed gorgeous. And remaking it in this game, but my main goal with the items I'm picking are just to do red and black items in the fanciest that I can possibly get them. And that is what you see here. And because a lot of like the world items that were in his room are no longer in game, I decided to kind of try replacing them with statues later on, but they aren't fully replaced. But there's an attempt, you know? And there you have it. It's nice, but not as nice as it once was. And moving on to Pave's room. Ooh, Festival is coming, but it's not here yet, and I'm hoping they remake this differently. But for now, this is my remake. Just me grabbing every piece of blue furniture that I possibly could and throwing it together. And instead of a dresser, I went ahead and put a fridge in. It was just the right shade of blue, and I was really tired of crafting wooden series things at this point. But there you have it, the blue haven of nobody's dreams. Okay, the snow series, which once again is not in game, but that wallpaper is. I was horrified of this one because there is nothing really snowman-y, but then I just decided we'll just do the illuminated set in white, and it is gorgeous. I love it all in white. It's so pretty. And we at least have one snowman. Definitely like this better than the snowman series. Although it's not something I would normally put in my house, but it's so pretty. And the Bunny Day set. This Bunny Day set was way better than the other one. I just love the egg yolks. But obviously, the replacement for this one is this game's Bunny Day set, which I do not like. Nope. I was like, maybe it's just because it's so colorful, but I like the other one. This one, me no likey. But here I am, shoving crap in the same order I shoved crap before, and it not looking as good as it did before, because these items are lame. Okay, on to this one. Ooh, the sleek series, but with a Holstein finish. Yeah, there ain't no cow print in New Horizons anymore, which is sad. But we can do black and white furniture. And I know those cots are weird, but I figured camo, cow print, kind of the same thing. So there you have it. And then everything else is just black furniture, black and white furniture. Oh, and I tried to do a lot of diner pieces because they brought in the silver. Overall, it's an okay room. Honestly, the cots should probably be switched out, but whatever. And the creepy set. The creepy set. I wish Halloween still had it, but alas, it does not. But you can recreate it decently. We have the fortune teller set, we have those lovely gravestones, and we have the bathtub. I don't know why they call it a bath. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing in Japan. And just a normal grandfather clock is going to be our creepy clock. Oh, the throwback radio in black was perfect for the little skeleton thingy. And with that, we're ready to bury Davey's house in the past and move on to Fues. Hers had like a regal exterior with a blue roof. Once again, exteriors are not what they used to be. But I'm just trying to go for like the fanciest exterior that there is. And I also went with the fanciest door that there is. Although I do not like the yellow with it, but her other door was yellow. So there you have it. It's okay. Our first room is this Alpine set. Oh, I miss the Alpine set. It was so cute and darling. And the wooden set is very similar, although I'm throwing out this fish wallpaper to replace the bird wallpaper. Fish, birds, same thing, right? And where possible, I customized furniture to have the leaf pattern on it, which in this case was only 2 items, but the wooden series actually had like the same color that the Alpine series did, so that was perfect. But the wooden series just doesn't have the life that the Alpine series did. I don't know, they're so close together that I wonder if Nintendo will be remaking the Alpine series, but like the wooden series has the same structure, but not nearly the pizzazz, so they have to bring Alpine back, right? Okay, moving on to the Sweet series. I love this series, but once again, not in game. So I racked my brain and I was like, what series has food? And then I realized the Fruit series has food, so we're doing the Fruit series, every single piece of furniture. And it actually filled out pretty well. There's no big pieces, there's no like tables, big tables or dressers or anything like that, unfortunately. But it worked. I like it. A lot of repetition, but it's cute. Not the same vibe, but it's food. With that done, we're moving on to the Regal set. Oh my gosh, I miss this one. This one is so nice. I hope they bring this up into the HD world of New Horizons, because it will be so glamorous and the beauty of New Horizons. Anyway, there's nothing really super like it currently, so I decided to do the wedding set. It's fancy, right? Anyway, I just threw it down in whatever order because, yeah, none of these pieces are really like the Regal set. There you go. It's cute for the wedding set, but it's not the Regal set. And Modern in Red. This is another series that people are really missing. And the best I could do to replicate it was the Cute series in Red. And not because I think the Cute series is anything like the Modern series, but because it's red. And I had customized the Modern series in red. So here we go. And I think it was the only series I could think of that was red. I guess Imperial has red, but it's not the same kind of red. Anyway, there you go. It's cute. It's fine. Not the Modern series, but it's a cute series. Alright, the Gracie series time. I love this one. It's like, I just love the aesthetic of this one. But yeah, once again, nothing like it is in game, so we're gonna have to make our own knockoff Gracie items. Isn't that bed lovely? I'm sure Gracie would love my knockoffs, for sure. I think this room is one of the ones where I'm the most off. Like, when everything's said and done, I think it looks fine, but it definitely just doesn't have the style that comes with the Gracie series. It just looks more bland and Mod Podge, but it's fine. And next we have our Frozen series. Luckily there is an ice set in game now, but not quite as, once again, diverse as the ice set of past. Mostly because they're making it to be outdoors and not to be inside, so they're, I don't know, but they have a bed. I don't know what they're thinking at Nintendo, actually. Sometimes I like to pretend I know anything, but I don't. So here's the ice series. Nothing like the previous Frozen series, but there you go. It's a nice ice room. We love it. It's beautiful. And we're moving on to my house. This is actually the best of the best. But first, that exterior. And the exterior I had was one you, like, earned by getting really high points in HHA. Unfortunately, it does not translate to this. I'm getting a mustard and ketchup vibe. This is looking more like a McDonald's and less like my beautiful home. But we're going with it. Oh, yep, it's gross. Okay, Princess series. I love this series. It's so cute. I remember the first time I saw it in City Folk and fell in love. And we're off to a pretty good start, actually. This wallpaper and flooring replicates it pretty well. The rug, not so much. And we're doing the Cute series in this blue. I think it's a pretty similar blue to the Princess series. And luckily we still have the Panda family in town, so there they are. And I really love how they re-rendered them. They look so much more smoother and huggable than they did before. Less plain-y, I guess. For the most part, this remake looks pretty good, but it definitely doesn't have the style that the other one did in the past. And there's some weird things going on with like side tables jammed together to make the original big table. But it's nice. Not quite as glamorous though. Okay, the next room I'm gonna try and replicate is this Rococo in pink, and I fell in love with this series the moment I saw it. And unfortunately it's still not in game, but I'm sure it will come back because this has some serious flair. And you may have noticed this, but in New Leaf you could make your rooms as big as you wanted. And these rooms are definitely smaller than the rooms in my house. So there's going to be a lot of things that have to be cut and everything's going to be crammed in here. And the final product, just because everything's so crammed, is definitely not going to look like my room did previously, but give it the best bet here. A lot of things got cut out to make this happen, but I tried to fit the most important aspects. There you go, a nice, cute, crammed room. Okay, the Mush series, and there is a Mush series in-game currently, but once again, they changed it up to make it better for outside, which totally makes sense. Like, a Mush house room, that's like amusement park levels. It's like people's normal houses wouldn't have that, so it makes sense to make these for outside, and I definitely like that choice. But when remaking it here, it's gonna look weird. There's my Mush TV, a Mush partition with a TV above it. Bang, totally works, right? Sure. And no giant pot, so we have the kettle bathtub. And there you have it. At least the floor and the wallpaper are pretty much the same. I think it looks nice. Definitely different than the one before though, because not same items. And now for the exotic room, which you may be noticing, this looks a lot like the Imperial set, and the Imperial set is the remake for this one, and I will be using the Imperial set. Unfortunately, like all the little knickknacks I had scattered, a lot of them were Brewster gifts, and some of them are still in game, but most of them were Gulliver gifts, and they are not the same anymore, so those will not be in this room, because Gulliver does not give those. But, you know, this is still nice. I will say, I think a lot of the furniture they've left out is because it wasn't functional, like it just sat there and looked a certain way, but they really wanted to make it so every like big piece of furniture you could use to do something like change or like play or something or lay on or put things on, and so they kind of got rid of all the just like decorative fluff pieces. And moving on to our classical room, which as you're maybe thinking already, Antique series is perfect for this one. I got it all in brown in that same exact color. We're moving them in now. The pieces have changed a little bit, but for the most part they're still the same. And unfortunately, there's not all the antique items that were here before. Like, I had to swap out the antique camera for this video camera, and I had to switch out the antique telescope for this telescope. So kind of ruined the vibe. Oh, and the TV. Yeah, instead of the antique TV, I have a normal TV on top of a piano bench, which is giving me, like, major college vibes. Like, you had one apartment where the TV was precariously placed on a piece of furniture it probably shouldn't be on. So, it's taking me back there. But here we are, my classical antique remake room, and I think it's pretty spot on, honestly. And for our last room, we have this office, which is just, it's kind of empty, it's kind of plain, but luckily most of the things in this office are still in game, besides the gyroid, of course. So this one shouldn't be too bad, and can we take a moment to appreciate that they redid the entire Zodiac set to actually be pretty? Like, the Capricorn ornaments are probably the least offensive of any of the items in New Leaf, but like 8 of the 12 items were hideous, so I'm very glad they took the time to redo them all and make them all match for this game. And it gives me hope for future items they remake. I think they'll eventually all be beautiful. And with the couch down, that room is done! Alright, there you have it. All 4 of my New Leaf mansions remade in New Horizons. Let me know how I did. I think overall I did the best that I could with what there is in New Horizons, and hopefully all these items will be in New Horizons soon because I miss them and they're wonderful. But I'm just taking the fact that they're not in game right now to mean that they're making them as beautiful as they possibly can for when they do come out. Go ahead and subscribe for the last part in this series where I'm going to show you side-by-sides of both towns. And for the Pocket Camp Island, that is going to be so sweet. Also, we just passed 3,000 subscribers, thank you. I will try to do a giveaway video in the next couple days, but life is busy right now and kind of stressful. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I hope you have the loveliest of lovely days. Bye!